everyone, and welcome to Be a Hero with Achieving Inbox Zero, which is something that we are going to learn and talk about today. So I'm really excited about this session because I started Inbox Zero a few years ago. I feel like it was during the COVID year. And I'm obsessed. Like my inbox does stay pretty low when it comes to inbox and inbox zero. So this has kind of been my life the last few years where I am able to get on my inbox and it is at zero, and it is a mindset to where I'm able to go, okay, I can do this. And we're going to just talk about some strategies on what you can do when it comes to achieving that inbox zero. So just a reminder that this session will be recorded, so you can jump on this link at any time. I'm also going to go ahead and throw in the slides into the chat, so that way you are able to follow along if you want. This session is more of a learning session than a kind of make and take. So your goal is to kind of take away inbox zero and that mindset, and hopefully we can get you down to being inbox zero after today's session. So let me go ahead and share those slides with you in the chat, and then we can kind of get started. Also, my sidekicks, Megan and Ashley, will be joining very, very soon. They are kind of wrapping up from a crazy day. I don't know if anyone else has had a day where it's just one thing after another. Ashley got held up in traffic, and Megan is coming into, yes, Leslie, I'm sharing right now, or she had something after school, so she'll be coming in as well. So I just wanted to give that heads up that they are coming, and we will get you guys into inbox zero. And so let me go ahead and share those slides with you before I forget. Here they come. Okay, now try, Leslie. All right, so when it comes to inbox zero, you really need to kind of think about how you want to organize your inbox, because we're going to give you lots of different tips and tricks. To be honest, some of these tips and tricks I use. Some of them I do not use. So again, it just kind of depends on the tip and how I kind of customize it for my own need. So just kind of think about that as well when you're going through these. What tips and tricks do you want to take away? Which ones do you want to use? Which ones do you not want to use? Because there are so many different tips that you have to customize it for yourself. Okay, so I just want you to remember that while we're going through these different slides and through these different tips, that you have to pick and choose what you're going to do. And some of these Ashley might do or Megan might do, and I might never do them. So just kind of keep that in mind as well. So the first things first, I want you to go ahead and open up that Gmail. Oh, this is kind of nerve-wracking, right? And I want you to just see right now how many emails are there. Right now I've got 4. Maybe you have 4,000. Maybe you have 200,000. Maybe you have 0. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go to slide number 4, and I'm going to throw this link into the chat. And what we're going to do is a before and after. Okay, so right there is the Canva. I just dropped it into the chat. And we're going to hit use template. Once you click use template, you're going to tell us before the session, I have 4 emails. Oh, it just stops counting at 99. Oh my gosh. And we're going to write how many emails we have before the session. Okay, so again, go ahead and make a copy of that Canva template, and you are going to add the number of emails that you currently have before we even get organized, because I want you to see how much we can do in just 30 minutes of organizing our email so it doesn't feel so overwhelmed. Okay. So once you have your copy of your Canva, you might also want to kind of name it like your name. So that way you know it's yours when you get on. All right, so Ashley's joining us. Ashley, we're just talking about the Inbox Zero challenge.
Awesome.
And we've got some people over 99 emails. So what is your inbox at? Because I just opened mine up on.
Okay, let me check.
And I'm at 4. Because I was telling them how it is like a new mindset for me, and I've been using it for a couple years. So 4 is pretty good. But again, it's kind of driving me crazy because I'm not at 0 right now.
Yeah, I am not at 0 either. I'm at 3. So I beat you, and I feel like that never happens. Like you always have a smaller number than I do. But right now I am at 3.
Okay. I want you to look in the chat because Justine just said, did you see that unread?
Wow. That is incredible, Justine. 17,000 total.
Yeah, we want the total number, I think, right? Or do we want unread?
Oh, I went by unread.
Okay, so we'll do unread for you.
Okay.
And then Leslie says that she was at 0 last week, but then Stephanie Hal sent me a load. I did not send you a load of emails. When did I do that, Leslie? Yeah, you're gonna need this challenge. Okay, so again, go ahead and just write that number down. No judgment, even though we are judging you. But it's all out of fun. So just a real quick reminder that if you don't have access to the slides, make sure you join that Google group because we share them through the Google group. And yes, we're going to talk about the Google group and how many emails come through, because if you look here, these are all the emails from today. And that can, 27 can come into your email box pretty quickly if you're part of the Gold Google group. So you do want to join, but we're going to also talk about managing that Google group. And then if you haven't yet, I want you to make sure you have access to those slides. It was in the chat. And we're going to throw them into the chat again, just in case you need access to that slide deck. Okay. And then again, we're going to go over different tips, different tricks, and be heroes when it comes to Inbox Zero. And then there's some villains. And so we're going to talk about those villains because as I was researching this session, inbox is serious. It's a serious issue that some people are afraid of. There are some fear when it comes to email. And so some people will ignore email. Some people will not check or respond to email because there's this fear and it's like a real thing. And so we're going to talk about some ways that we can overcome some of those different villains. Yes. So yes, subscribe daily. That's a great idea, but you still have 17,000 in your inbox. Justine. Okay. So let's talk about layout first. Ashley, you want to talk about this one?
Yes. So when I think about my inbox, the first thing I want it to have is awesome organization right away. So the perfect layout. So I don't know about you and how you organize your inbox. But you want to think about what's the most important thing for you to see in that layout. And part of getting Inbox Zero is choosing the best layout for you. There's a lot of options available in your settings for choosing the layouts. And that's what I love about Gmail or another email app that you use. You have several options available. We'll talk through the options for Gmail. But I love the options for layouts because you can figure out what works for you. And sometimes I change my layout throughout the year because my system is not working and I need to make it more simplified. So I choose an even easier layout for me to look at all of the emails. So we can walk through some of these options for you and how to locate them in your Gmail. But you'll notice the default is just the regular option for you. And it helps you with sorting. You can see in the density area too, but yeah. So you can customize what you want in that default section. So you can select what you want in your layout, choose what's important to you. I know I get a ton of emails that are promotions. So I often don't include those because I don't want those in my layout. I just want them somewhere else. I don't see them right away. But again, choose what's important to you. So that's default. You can also choose, like, if you want important emails first, if you want, and then the everything else underneath. Um, Often I like to have everything else within my layout because if I read something and then maybe I didn't mark it as I marked it as read and I want quick access to it, I can go back and find it in the everything else. Um, Maybe you want the unread section first instead of your important. Maybe you want the starred section first. So think about how you want things organized and what's going to be easy for you to see right away, or not see, because maybe you have a lot of emails and you don't want them to overwhelm you when you first look at your layout. So choose the layout that works best for you. I know with my layout, I like to customize the sections. So I have multiple areas in there. I even added like an area where I want to like print things because I get a ton of emails that I need to print or like file for later. I get a lot of emails from kids who want to meet with me or talk to me. So I add an area in my layout that's just for like meeting with students. And then it just sends them right to that section in the layout. So think about how you can customize it. That way, when you first look at your inbox, it's organized the way that works for you. Stephanie, how do you like your layout to be organized?
Yeah, I use this one. So the unread up top and everything else at the bottom. So that way I know what is kind of coming in, and then everything else at the bottom I can kind of just quickly look at. Let us know in the chat, what view do you like? Leslie says that she loves the easy peasy quick view window. So I'm assuming, what one is that?
No, but I think I might want that.
I know. What is that, Leslie? So yeah, it's really important to kind of think about how do you want it organized, to kind of help you. And I feel like most people like the default or the unread emails up, like those two choices the best.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what is yours, Ashley?
I do unread
Okay.
and then everything else, but I throw in the middle of that, I throw an area that's to print and then to meet with students. So I added 2 more sections in there because there's an option within your layouts to add like custom sections. So that's what I liked. I added I added 2 more inbox sections, and did a print area and students to meet.
I love that. And Leslie says, what are we looking at? We're looking at the settings in Gmail. So right here, this little gear. And if you scroll down, it says inbox types. And then you can decide what you want it to look like in your email. Yeah, I like your idea too. Like on my work email, it's this, but on my personal email, it's this. So think about that and think about how you do want to reorganize or use your labels or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And it's okay to have different layout for different accounts because I know I have a different account or a different layout for like my personal Gmails.
Yeah, and I think too, like Leslie said, sometimes teachers go in and they click see all settings. Let me go out of here real quick. The see all settings. And then you go into, I believe it's inbox, and then you can kind of have some more power as well. But this can also be overwhelming, I think. So being able to just kind of quickly see on that first page, what is this going to look like? And then just clicking around and playing can help you set up your email as well. All right, making folders. And folders in Gmail are actually called labels. So they like to call them labels for some reason. I don't really know for sure why they do that. But down here, AJ's having a meltdown. I don't know if you guys can hear him. So down here we can see all of these different labels, and you can start to color code as well. So as I have these different emails, I can click this little move to button and I can move it to one of my labels, folders, same thing. Yeah, AJ sounds well. Yep.
So what I also like about folders is that on the left side of my Gmail, I have all these categories for sorting my emails. So it also takes them out of my big inbox and sends them somewhere else. You can see some of the folders or labels that Stephanie has. I like how AJ has his own folder. That's pretty cool. But you could think about the kind of folders that you could add to your inbox for easy sorting. Think about the categories for emails that you're receiving, maybe like student related emails, things from other teachers or colleagues, things that are parent or family related, things that are content related. It could be related to tasks. So how can you sort your emails and get them out of your inbox and into folders or labels instead? And you can change the color as well, which is pretty cool. To change the color of the folder, all you have to do is go next to that folder, and then there's a label color at the top, and then you can choose whatever color you would like for that folder so it stands out or it fits the overall theme of your Gmail. But you can choose different colors, which is fun to make it more customized. If you're wondering how to add a folder or a label, there's a few different ways. You can just add it with the plus sign, add the label, and then you can do like a main folder if you want on the side, or you can do like a category or like a sub area so you can figure out how you want your emails to be sorted. So again, folders can be life-changing. Get the emails out of your inbox and put them into a folder.
Yeah, for sure. And so again, color coding is huge. You can also drag and drop, or you can open this up and then put it into whatever folder you need it to go into.
I love the move to feature. I use that all the time. It's so easy. Drag and drop is too, but I like to be able to move it, especially if I'm on my phone. You can move things to folders when you're on your phone using the app.
Yeah, and I think too, like here I can't drag and drop it, but if I have it open, I just click and move it real quickly.
Yep.
Okay, so again, think about what do you want to organize by? What topics do you need to create? A lot of times people will create a Stephanie folder because I think I sent out too many emails. But just think about what people do you communicate with often? Do they need their own folder? Do you want to create like a building folder? All of those kind of things. And welcome, Megan.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
Hi, Megan.
Hi, everyone.
We were just talking about how everyone's had a crazy day.
Yes.
I have AJ running around in the background, apparently. Ashley was stuck in traffic. Megan
I was
was
for an
school.
hour.
We're all just stuck.
But we're here together. That's all that matters. And now
Yeah,
we're going
that
to
is
be
it.
organized.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we're at folders, Megan, and we're talking about adding to the star folder right now. So I add multiple things to my star folders. You can see these are upcoming maybe conferences I want to attend or things, events that I want to go to. And I will just go in and you just click that little star. And then it gets automatically added to that inbox. And then I use it, I unstar it after the event. I don't know if anyone else is like that. So I would star this, and then I also archive it. It's out of my inbox. But if I go here, it's starred, and I can say, oh, this event is done. I no longer need that.
That's why your everything else number is so low.
My everything else number.
Yeah, it's only 7.
Oh, because I read them in my inbox?
Because you archive.
Yeah, I do archive.
Yeah. That's probably why Justine's is so high.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And when you archive, it goes into the, like, I think it's called like the everything folder. Or where all mail folder is where it goes if you archive things. So when you archive, that is just saying like, get rid of it. I don't want to see it, but it's still there If you click the trash can, it's gone within 30 days.
Yeah, don't trash unless you never want it again. I often don't trash. I don't delete anything. I keep
Oh.
it all.
Oh, I delete.
Because I never know when
I
I might
move
need
things
it.
to folders and then I trash.
Oh, I need to archive though. Justine, I'm like you. I was always afraid to archive, and my everything else number is probably really bad too. Right now it's 473, but that's just on one
Wait,
of
you
my
archive?
accounts. Oh, I don't archive. No, do you, Megan?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Where you keep it and save it for later, and it goes to your all mail section that Stephanie just taught us.
So like the all mail area is like the shared with me drive. Like if I click here, there's a lot going on, but you don't get to see it. It's my hidden closet of everything is there.
Oh no,
All the
mine is.
in there.
Oh no, no, it is either once I'm done with it, it's either trashed or it goes into a folder for later. But not for later, like it's either I'm done with it or like I've responded to it or it's in a folder like I'm done with it or it's trash.
Yeah.
And I love what Leslie says. She has used it to move multiple folders labels that stress her out. And she now has a folder that called by the year. So bulk this year, bulk that. Good for starting out.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. So like if I wanted to, I could take all these emails and I could move them to a folder like Leslie says and call it bulk 2023 and everything would go there.
Yeah. Yep.
If you want to start fresh.
Yeah.
So that's a good idea. And yes, like this all mail is just like your junk closet that nobody can see. But if I search for something in here, so if I do like a Google Calendar search, they all pop up. So you can search, or I could type in someone's email and everything will be there. Google is really good at searching.
People will find it for you.
Yes,
right.
Yes. So don't be afraid to archive. Filtering messages is next. So filtering messages help you auto organize your email. So I use this a lot. And when I'm in here, you can do it multiple ways. Okay. So right here, I can click this little icon gear and I can create a filter just by starting to type. So anytime Ashley emails me or Megan emails me, I can create a filter and I can create an Ashley folder and it will go directly to that folder. So that is kind of helpful as well. I can have it skip the inbox, but I usually don't want to because I usually want to be able to see it first. And then I can also mark it as read immediately. I could star it. So if I know like for sure this is going to be a good email or everything Ashley sends is good, I can star it. I can forward it if I wanted to. I could delete it, which I would not suggest you do when it comes to Ashley. I could have it do all of these different things. I could always have it send a template. So if like the subject line said something, it could automatically send them a template, or anytime Ashley emails me, it's going to send her a template about like, I'm out of the office, right? But you have all of these different options and then you can apply it to the other 17 matches. So now it's grabbing anytime Ashley messaged me. And now in my Ashley folder, I've got all of these lovely emails from her and the calendar invites. So filters can be great. You can also create a filter by opening up an email. So like here is one on webinars. And then I can go over to the 3 dots and I can say filter messages like this. And it's picking up that email address for me. And then I can create that filter. I also do this with Pickerington emails, so my own district. And I just write like at plsd.us. And then anytime somebody from that email group, it automatically turns purple because that's my Pickerington folder. That's our school colors. And then I can see it. I like it better on my phone because like here you can see newsletter because it has the word subscribe. But on my phone, it's the color. And so it kind of pops out real quick. Hey, this is a Pickerington person emailing you. So then I can say, oh, this is important, or it can wait until tomorrow. All right. Anyone else?
I
use
like that
Snoozing?
though. Color coordinating for
Yeah.
like for work. Cause I know like I have a folder for Stephanie because you send amazing emails that I want to refer back to later for all the resources. But I never thought about color coordinating for work because I need to work on my email boundaries. And I guess if I see that it's work related, I could just not answer it until the next day.
Yeah. Like see how I made all, and I just changed my label. And so all these words, it's the filter is subscribe for this one. So anytime it sees subscribe, it's like an email. And I'm able to then see, hey, I just changed the color of it. I could change it to whatever color I wanted. And now it's that color. And then when I'm looking on my phone or on my computer, I can go, okay, I can skip those and read those later because that's going to take, like, that's like what I want to learn about. Let me get through these emails a lot quicker. All right. Oh, I'm red on Leslie's end. I don't know if that's like emergency alert, alert.
Red is also the color of confidence. So I think this is a really good thing. Like great things are coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so make sure you set up some filters. And again, there are some that I do, like where it says has the words, I write subscribe. And that to me means there's some type of newsletter. And so then if it has that, it's going to turn that color. Alert, something good coming.
So true.
All right. So task. And we were kind of talking about this one. And at the beginning, before you guys joined, I talked about how there's a lot of tips here and I don't use them all. And how we were talking about like how Ashley does something to get to inbox 0, but I might not do that, or vice versa, depending on whatever the situation is. And so what we mean by task is you can use Google Keep and Google Task in your email. Let me go ahead up here. So right here, this button. And Ashley, you use this a lot, right?
I do, because I like how it pops up on the right side with things that I need to do. And then I can check it off when I do it, and it's very satisfying to see it mark it complete. But I do use tasks a lot. I like it to show my digital list, but I am someone who has to use multiple to-do lists. This is just one of my to-do lists in Gmail. I like tasks.
Okay. And then Google Keep is right here. So it's on again your sidebar. And you might have to turn these features on. So if you go again into those see all settings, you might need to go into, I believe it is add-ons. No, it's not add-ons. Advanced, maybe. Templates you have to turn on, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But you might need to go in and just kind of turn some of these features on if they're not already. And so with Google Keep, you're able to add like Post-it notes. And you can kind of talk and communicate that way with what you need to do. I am a Google email to-do list person. I will email myself on my phone, hey, I need to do this in the morning, or this or that or this, and then I'll send it to myself. So like if I am like, all right, I need to schedule this teacher, like email Ashley. I will seriously just email it to myself. And then when I get to my computer, I have a reminder, and I changed my layout. Let's see. And then I just go ahead and compose, and I write that email. Once I do it, I then delete, archive this email. It's done. It's off my list. Megan, what type of to-do list type of person are you?
I'm paper. Yeah. I've tried Keep. I've tried Task. I'm paper.
Yeah.
And then I rewrite my list once I start crossing things out because I don't like it looking messy. And so then I rewrite my list, and then I rewrite my list. Yeah.
Yeah, I do that too.
So we're all different in how we kind of keep a to-do list, but I think getting to inbox 0, having a to-do list is important because you do want to follow up with people. You don't want to just trash the emails and never do anything with them. And I think sometimes for me, it's like, is an email quicker or do I need to go talk to that person? And then just kind of say, hey, I got your email, but I just wanted to touch base with you or whatever. Yeah, so you got to figure out your way. And so Google Keep is one way, or Google Task, or you can email yourself like I do, but I don't think a lot of people do that. That sounds a little crazy.
I do that too.
All right, who uses Schedule Send?
I do.
All right.
I love this.
I've only done that with group messages to like our parents, but not on my Gmail, like our Infinite Campus. I've done that, but I've never done that through my person or the school email, like Gmail.
All right. Tell her why she should do this.
I like it because I know sometimes I work late and I don't want people to know I'm working late. So I will type the email and schedule it to be sent during work hours, like the next day. So people think, oh, she typed that first thing in the morning, like, or she's like up and ready and working hard in the morning, when really I sent it like 8 o'clock, or like I was typing it at 8 o'clock the night before. But I like to schedule things that way. I can also stagger when people get them. I try to limit how often I send emails to staff during the day. So if there's something else I need to email them about, I might schedule it so that they get it the following day or like 2 days later. Or if I need to follow up with somebody, I schedule a follow-up email. That way I don't forget and it's already sent and done. So I like scheduling because then I can type my emails when I have the thought and then choose when I want it to be delivered. And it also helps to limit the back and forth communication you're having with somebody. It helps to set a boundary for you, because sometimes you just want to keep emailing back and forth because maybe there's like an upset person who like wants something resolved right away, or our feelings are like we're getting emotional about what's happening. So it allows us just to kind of calm down, think about what we want to say, and then schedule it when we're ready to have it be sent. And then we don't have to get like an email right away from the person. So I like it because then it gives a little more wait time too. So Megan, you don't use Schedule Send, or you do for
well,
group?
I do, but it's with our grading because it has all of the parents' emails.
Okay.
Or Infinite Campus, or we use Talking Points, so I can send it that way, but I don't send it because with our Gmail, it just takes forever to put all the parents' emails in, but I have done it with where it's mass populated. But yeah, I've done that to send it, like if I want to send it at 3 o'clock because I know I'm going home and I'm not going to respond to emails because I'm at home.
Yeah. But that's good. You have that boundary that you're not doing that at home.
Yep.
I'm still working on mine.
Yeah. So
until then, I'm going to schedule send.
So I have a template here. I just wrote up my email, and I don't want Ashley or Megan to know I'm working right now, or I don't want that back and forth email conversation. That's just something I've been working on is, when the day's over, I might be working, but I don't want someone to feel like they need to respond to me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go in here and I click the down arrow next to send, and you just hit schedule send. And then you can pick a date and time, or you can just kind of do the default time. And I can say, okay, tomorrow at 8, 1, or 8 a.m. on Monday morning. And I can do tomorrow. They're going to get an email from me tomorrow. And if I need to edit it, I just go into my scheduled area and I can hit cancel send. And then I can go, oh, I forgot to add my bit emoji on here, or whatever I want to do. And then I can schedule it again for it to send. All right, snoozing. Perfect. This is something I do. I think I'm the only one that does this, right?
I think you are. I don't do that.
So when it comes to snoozing, I do this all the time. And so I snooze for later in the evening. So if it's something like a reminder for AJ or something like that, I might say, okay, I need to remember to do that when I get home, snooze it for later. If it's on the weekend, like we just went to Monster Jam, I might snooze our tickets to that date. So that way my tickets pop up right on that date. They're no longer sitting in my email. I don't need to worry about finding them because that's always a problem, I feel like. So I snooze it for that weekend. Holiday breaks. So if someone's planning a party and I got an invite through email and they're like, you need to bring this, I can snooze it until that holiday party. Or, hey, I need to work on this big project or whatever. Different projects. So if I have a professional learning session coming up, I can snooze all of those. The meeting agendas, I snooze those until the meeting date, and then upcoming events. So the way that you snooze an email is I go right here and I can click this little time looking guy that says snooze. And then I can say, oh, I don't want to do this until tomorrow morning. I'm going to check it at 8 a.m. It's snoozed until that time. I just can archive this. I no longer need that. Don't need that. And then right here, I'm going to say, okay, I can do the last time that I just said, or I can go in and I can say, oh, I don't want to deal with that until the weekend. But this time I want to deal with it at 4 a.m. So that way I make sure I get it done at that time. And then right here, I could say, oh, I want to rewatch this webinar, but I can't watch it until tonight at 7 p.m. And so I can just kind of go in and snooze all of these different emails. My email is looking a lot cleaner than it did. But now if I needed to unsnooze it, I now have this folder right here. And then I can go in and I can go, okay, unsnooze. And now it's back in my inbox. So maybe I had some time, I could do it that way. But that is how I use snooze. Because again, if I've got a ticket for, like you can see right here, I have a conference tomorrow. Here's everything I need to know. Well, I don't want to see it until tomorrow. I don't want to deal with it tonight. Like that's just overwhelming, all this information. I will deal with it and I'll figure out what time I need to be there tomorrow morning. So again, that can just kind of be helpful when you are going through your emails and thinking of what do I need to snooze? What do I not need to snooze?
See, that's good. I never thought about snoozing like that because I often keep things as unread. Like if I need to go back to it later, it just floats in my inbox, but then I can't have inbox 0 because I have so many things floating that I need to tend to. But I like the snoozing idea later because then I can schedule when I want it to pop back in. That way I don't forget about it. And you can still access it from the folder on the side.
Yeah, so I just snoozed that one. We're going to see what happens in 2 minutes when it pops up in my inbox, just so I can show you what it looks like. Yeah, next thing is unsubscribing. So unsubscribing, there's 2 things that you can do. This website right here, I just learned about. And one of my friends uses it. He showed me at a conference, and it's called Unenroll Me. Do you use this, Megan?
I've seen this, and I somehow have it, but I have no idea why I have it, how I got it. If I still use it, I have no idea, but I have this somehow.
Yeah. Well, when you first sign up, it is kind of a couple steps to allow the inbox to like pick up because you have to agree to a couple of different things. You have to sign into Google. It's really interesting though. So right here, for example, I'm pregnant. And so after I have this baby, I probably don't need these like baby tips or to let me know the size of my baby right now because I'm losing track of that. So I can go in and I can hit add to roll up. If you add it to a roll up, it's going to be like a daily summary or kind of all of those emails within a week. So then you get like a kind of a summary of what all that is. You can keep it in your inbox the way that it is, or you can unsubscribe. So I can go real quickly and I can say unsubscribe. I have no idea why I'm subscribed to that. I no longer need this. I no longer need this. I no longer need, and you can just kind of go that way and you're able to just kind of click and unsubscribe really, really quickly to whatever you just did. And then right here, you can see I'm unsubscribed to 2 different things. And then I can say, oh, I really need that. I'm going to keep that in my inbox now. So again, you can kind of go through and reorganize your life very quickly by seeing everything that your email is picking up. And then
That's
the
so
Google
nice.
Groups. Yeah. So again, Google Groups can be crazy. So the first thing you do is you just go to groups.google.com. And then right here, you just pick what kind of email you want to get. Do you want a digest? Or do you want no email at all? And so if you click no email at all, you still can get the emails. You just have to go to the Google group. So if I go into our Google group right now, I can go in and I can read it at my own time. So I won't get an email in my inbox, but I can go here and I can look at some of these different ideas that people had. So each email, you'll get it individually. A digest is about 25 emails. A bridge is about a daily email with 150 messages is the limit. And then no email, you would get no emails at all. So two options there.
I like that because I feel like my email floods with Google group messages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I do digest, but I think I need to level up to be abridged.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that one's every 25 messages. So like.
Yeah, I need the 150.
Yeah. So it is kind of nice. And I mean, the view of it's not bad when you get the abridged message. It's like very organized and laid out.
The summaries, yeah.
Well, some people do want each email, so you can just delete it. Like I get each email, so I read it and then I go, oh, I can't help, or I don't know that answer, or yes, I need that resource, and I'll save it, and then I just delete the email. It's kind of how I work. But again, some of you are like, that's too many emails for me. I need a summary. All right, templates. Who here uses templates?
I love templates.
Megan.
I don't use anything on Google on my email. I send, delete, and file away.
But it sounds like you have a good system because your number, well, you have a low number though. Last time you told us.
Yeah, right now, 1, 2, 3. I have 6.
Okay.
It was
That's great.
2 this morning, 6 now.
Yeah.
And one I can delete, but I want to, it's about our levy, and I just want to make sure I know what my new building's going to look like.
Right, know what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, I like to use templates. Stephanie, do you use templates?
I do. Yeah.
Yes. I make templates for everything because I get tired of typing the same type of email over and over again. So I think about the kind of emails that I'm sending, and I often make templates for like when I welcome new families to like dump all the information that they need to know as a new family, like welcome information, important websites to visit, and how to like finish the registration part for like when you're new. But I give them all the information, and I didn't want to copy and paste it from a Google Doc. So I saved it in a template on Gmail. But I have a lot of templates, and I'm constantly adding to that section in my Gmail because I just don't want to have to retype everything. I would rather it just pop up for me, and then I can just add the recipient and then send. It's so satisfying. So it is a huge time saver. It takes a little bit of time to set up your template. So you have to compose an email first in order to create a template. So you would type whatever you wanted to be in your template. So you would start typing that information. You also have to give your template a title in the subject line, and whatever the title is in your subject line will be the title of the template. So I think about, well, what do I want this email to be called? That way it's already called that in the subject area, and it's ready for me to just shoot off. So when you're making your template, you can see, oh, Stephanie has a lot of templates saved. Look how organized you are. That's awesome. So you make your template, and then you can save it. So you can give your template a name. Again, this is a welcome template. And then anytime you want to use your template, you just go to the bottom where the 3 dots are, click the template area, and then, oh, I think that was another, oh, that's a help template. Okay.
This is an old template.
This is another one? Okay. It's good to help people.
Yep. So then I can go in and I can post whatever.
Mm-hmm. And you can add to so after you pull up the template, before you send it, you can add whatever information you want to customize it or personalize it. In case your templates are not popping up though, you do have to enable them in your settings. So you have to turn them on. So you go up to your Gmail settings, click all settings. And then when you are in the advanced, I think it's advanced. Yes. You have to enable the templates because by default they are disabled for you, but you want to turn them on. That way you have access to them. So make sure you enable them. And at the bottom, save changes. Stephanie's are already enabled. So make sure you turn yours on.
Yeah, and while we're here, I also turn on unread message icon. So I can see up here that I have 4 unread messages. So if I have multiple tabs open, I can go, oh, I've got 4 emails. I'm going to check them. That might be good for you. It might cause you some overwhelming and you won't get your other work done. So just think about that too if you want to turn that on or off. And I use templates differently. So Ashley uses them within Gmail. I do them in a Google Drive. So what I do is I create a new Google Doc. And then when I'm in here, I'll just say like back to school title. And then I'll put email template. And you can also do, you can draft an email right in here as well. And then once you click this, it will take it over to your Gmail. So if I go underneath here, hello, how are you? And then I click this little blue icon, it will take my email that I wrote in my Google and post it right in here. And it might be taking a minute to get that. So let's see here. Ashley. And I'm just pushing that @ symbol to get more people. And then again, I can type right down here.
Yes, please.
And then I should be able, let's see if I did it. Okay, it's grabbing their emails, but for some reason it's not grabbing the subject. But typically it grabs the subject or the message. I don't know why it's not right now, but it usually does. And then also if I don't want to send it just using this, sometimes I'll just copy and paste it over. So, and then I can share this with Ashley and I can say, hey, can you look this over and make any additional comments or anything like that? It makes it great for collaboration if you're working with a team. And then what I've been doing, because we love hubs, right?
We do.
And what I've been doing, like, so PDs are pretty much huge for me, right? So I have a PD hub. And I have attached different templates. Hopefully it'll pop up on this account. And I've attached different templates. There it is. To this hub. So you can see right here where it says communication 1 month prior. Here is everything that I need to send out. And all of the red is the things I need to change. So if you wanted to work out like by August, I always send this email out. In October, I always send this email out. You could start a spreadsheet kind of hub. And then as you can see, this is long-term planning. This is if I was doing a quicker planning, the day of checklist. And then right here, I can hit my next steps email and everything is right there. I just tweak it a little bit and hit send. So creating a hub, I think, is as well a good tip to have, because then I can link everything that I might need and I have those email templates and I just put email right in the name of it as well. So if I search my Google Drive, that should pop up and I can go, oh yeah, I did write that, or whatever I need to do. All right, Megan is the pro at Google Chat.
Yeah.
So why do you sometimes Google Chat instead of email, Megan?
It's a lot quicker and I can see who is online. And if they're online, that means they hopefully are right at their computer. And so that if it's a quick message, I can just kind of jump on something I need answered quickly I don't need a long answer back. Or sometimes I just want to message Stephanie something really fast. Like I need to let her know something like, hey, something's not going right. Or I need something answered. Or sometimes it's a, hey, I just need to tell you this, but I don't need you to get back to me right away. Or sometimes it's just a hi, I just want to say hi to you. I do use Google Chat a lot.
Yeah.
Or if I'm trying to talk to the team that I teach with, and we want to communicate about another student that I don't have, or that's another way you can do groups of teachers. That works quickly. Yeah, I use it all the time.
Yeah, so I use chat a lot too, and I think I like chat sometimes better than a text message because if people have the Gmail app on their phone, they're going to get alerted, or they can also respond on email. So it kind of depends. If you're going to send a quick message, maybe you just use chat. And so over here on the new Google layout, they have all of their chats here, and I can hit new chat, and then I can chat with whoever I want to. Or you can email them. But again, sometimes just sending a chat message will help that inbox 0 number.
Yep.
Especially for quick communication. And it is nice to see who is online. I like that feature about Google Chat, to send them a quick message, almost like a text.
Yep. And there's also times that I know they may not be online, but I know they're also online. So they'll also respond.
Yeah. And so if you don't want to be disturbed because you're like, I'm trying to get to inbox 0 or I'm trying to do something, you can turn this on where it says do not disturb. And then you can mute your Google Chat for as many minutes or hours that you might need to stay focused in something. So that is also a nice feature. You can also change your status. So if I wanted to say I'm in a meeting, or Megan, don't bother me, I'm sick. You can set those up as well. So we can see who's online right now, who's not online. And then
there's times if I message Stephanie and she doesn't get back to me, I understand. I mean, we're all busy. It's not going to offend me. I just will send her something, or send Ashley something, or somebody on my team. I know they'll see it. You know, it's not an emergency if they don't respond.
Yeah. So again, you can kind of see right here, you can go in and set your settings as well. And don't be afraid to change those settings. I think sometimes we get overwhelmed by looking at settings, but you can always change them back. So just go in, look at them, and then if you don't like it, you can turn it on or off. Like I like to get the alert that somebody has messaged me, but some people might not like that. So think about that as well. Or if you want to block somebody. And then setting boundaries. So these are our villains. Okay, so we talked again at the beginning how Gmail can feel very, very overwhelming at the start. And we have to beat these villains. And we got to think about what we're going to do. So how can we beat some of these villains?
What do you think your biggest villain is, Stephanie?
Mine is time. I need to manage like 2 times a day because I constantly have email on my phone or on my computer. And like right now, this is giving me anxiety that I have 5 messages. But I think if I would set a couple times throughout, I would have a lot more emails, but then I wouldn't be so like, I need to get things done right now. So I think that's my villain.
Yeah. What's your biggest? Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
What's your biggest villain, Megan?
I don't know. Email's not my issue.
She's conquered all the villains.
Email's not my, I mean, this really is not my, yeah.
You're doing great.
Yeah, I really.
You don't feel overwhelmed by email, which is a good thing.
Right. I mean, I did have an issue the other day where there was one I could not find. I knew I had it saved someplace. I finally found it. It was from our media center person. I knew I had it. I knew I had it someplace. I have no idea where I found it. Now I have it saved someplace because it was not where I thought it was. I knew I had it, but I'm pretty organized. The email is not my stress.
Yeah.
But
well, that's good. That's
really
good. What about you?
I would say time. because
Mhm.
sometimes I'm checking too much. Sometimes I don't have enough time to check the email because they're all rolling in and my number's getting really high. So I
Yeah.
would say time. I feel like I do a really good job not getting upset by emails. Like,
Mhm.
tell me anything and it won't bother me. I've created that boundary, but I also have really learned and mastered how to respond to things when I'm calm and thinking clearly and focused on that email, when I can give it the attention it needs. Because I
Mhm.
know some people are really overwhelmed by the content in an email, and it's very stressful. Then it gets your emotions going, and it's hard to process all that. So
Yeah.
don't email when you're upset,
Mhm.
especially if that topic or that content is really getting to you. Take a break from technology. It's what I tell the kids too.
Yep.
You need to just stop and breathe and take time for yourself. Don't respond right away.
And I think sometimes responding later is a better thing. You're gonna get a better response from somebody, or they've had time to Google it or think about the hard decision. And so giving sometimes that space and snoozing that email might be a good thing for you to do too.
Yeah.
And then I think too, if you don't understand something, always ask for clarification. Always ask them, what did you mean by this? Or can you help me understand this? Or can we meet in person and set up another time to talk about this? That has helped. And then you can kind of snooze that email for that meeting date and then clear things up when you don't understand something. And then keep it short, right? Like, don't go into every little detail. If you do, I think you need to have a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Bullet points work great, but just keeping your email short can be good. And then I like to follow these 3Ds as well when it comes to managing email. And so it's delete it. So you can probably delete half of your emails that you get immediately. You probably don't need them. You probably can just delete it. If it is something that you can do, you can probably do it pretty quickly. So just do it. Don't procrastinate like Leslie. Or do you need to delegate it? Maybe you can't answer that person or you can't solve their problem. So who can you forward that email to and say, hey, can you look into this? Or whatever you need to do. So delete, do, and delegate are my kind of 3 things. Instead of delete, I kind of archive, but I was going with the D themes. But delete, do, and delegate. So those can be helpful as well. All right, so now we want you to take 30 minutes, either today or tomorrow or sometime this week. And what you're going to do is you're going to set a timer. So we've provided a timer for you, and it's a 30-minute timer. You're going to use what we just shared. And once you do that, you're going to organize your email. So you're going to actually go into this email. You're going to move things to folders. You're going to color code. You're going to archive things. You're going to star things, snooze things, whatever you need to do. You are going to have 30 minutes to do that. Okay, so again, you have 30 minutes to try to get organized. Once you do that, we want you to share. So on here, you are going to write your new inbox number. So my number is 2 now, which is way better than 4. So we are hoping that you are able to, oh, I don't know why that's on there. Why? So we are hoping that you are able to cut down on those emails.
Bye, everybody. I'm dog sitting, and he's here now, so I got to go.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining. All right, so right here, again, you can see that we have 4 emails and now 2 after. And then what we want you to do is we want you to share this. So you're going to download this as a JPEG. And what you're going to do is you are going to go over to our tweet, which I lost the bird. So I need to get the bird back. Let's see here. Let me get that bird back. And then we want you to tweet. And we already have a template for you, which is super helpful as always, right? And we want to see that new number and we want to celebrate with you. So what you're going to do is there will be a bird. Let me refresh because he's there now. You're going to click right here. And it says, I am being a hero and achieving inbox 0. You're going to add your picture. And we want to celebrate with you what your new number is. Feel free to change anything in this template. But again, we just want to celebrate you. And the best way to do that is to tag us so we don't miss you. Because it is an accomplishment from going from 4 until 2. So once you have that complete, you're going to tweet this out. and we are going to throw some fun gifts and celebrate that new number. And hopefully you're able to start using some of these tips and tricks when it comes to managing your inbox. So, are you up for the challenge? Yeah, feel free to add more minutes. We just wanted you to think 30. That's kind of like the starting point. Because it can feel overwhelming when you're like, I have 17,000 emails in my inbox.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want to get to 0, go for it. But again, we're just asking for 30 minutes, and we want to see how much can you get down within 30 minutes, or can you beat the timer? Like Patricia right now has 62 emails. I feel like she could beat that timer.
I like that idea, beating the timer. That's fun.
Yeah.
But just making like any progress is great. I'm often emailing, like when I am really unhappy with my email number, I'm texting Stephanie and I'm saying, Stephanie, I just got down to 100 or 60 or 40 or whatever. And Stephanie always celebrates my progress. Even though I know she already has 0 and has probably been 0 all day, she always stops and celebrates me, and it makes me feel really good because it takes a while to get those numbers down and to get organized.
It does. So again, set the timer. Depending on your number, your either goal is to beat the timer, or is it to just get down to a certain amount of number? Like you know yourself better, or maybe you're like, I have an hour. Spend an hour and clean it out, or do whatever you need to. But again, we want to celebrate you. So you're going to tweet out that graphic that we made at the beginning, add your new number on to the end, and then we will celebrate with you on Twitter. And we're just so excited to see all of that.
Yes, and to see your progress. And Patricia, you're already killing it. You had 200 and got to 62. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Way to go.
All right, so let us know your feedback. We are always looking for ways to improve. And so right here, you can fill out this Google form. Also, you can get a certificate of attendance once you fill out this Google form. If you need that for your district or for your school, feel free to also fill that out. And then as always, if you are not, follow Gold on Twitter, follow Ashley, myself, and Megan, or visit our website as well. And we just like to remind you as well, it is pumpkin spice season. So if you want to buy us a coffee or a tea or whatever beverage we like to drink, we would love to drink that from your donation.
And the time change is a struggle. We're tired.
Yeah, it was.
But
I
we
mean,
still want to
it's a
create
struggle,
for
but
you.
we pulled it together, guys. I mean,
Yes.
man.
And we know you are too.
Yes. So again, thank you for organizing your Gmail with us, and we cannot wait to celebrate with you on Twitter. And thank you again for joining us.
Yes, you can do it.
Hopefully, right?
Right. They can do it.
Any emails do you have to get down?
It's great.
Do you need to get down to any emails, Ashley, or did you get caught up?
I have one right now.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So good luck. Get caught up on email. Set that timer. Beat it or minimize the number on your Gmail. Thanks, guys, for joining.
Bye.